Alrighty. So, let's start this again. I've tried to attempt to do video blogs and stuff like that for quite some time. Here I am again attempting it. Restart the race all over again. And look, I'm going to attempt to use this as a foundation for me to lay out what it is that I want to do in my life, what it is that I'm pursuing in my life, or to continue and I just like to hear my thoughts out loud. I just like to hear the clarity that comes from it. It doesn't need to make sense. It doesn't need to have to go into a direction. It doesn't really need to be anything, man. I just need to lay it out so that I can hear it, so I can have some sort of grounding as to who I am, what I'm doing here right now. Maybe it's great to not know about all these things, Maybe it's good to just sit in some sort of ignorance. Not ignorance, but, the unbeknownst, the unknown about who you are and what you are. And it's a bit of a mystery, and always will be a bit of a mystery, and I'm happy for it to be like that. But sometimes it's good to clear up the air as well, what's happening inside of our brain, inside of our minds, and, sort out the books, sort out the library, clean the table, clean the kitchen. Same thing happened inside of here, clean it out, reorganize section A to B, all that sort of thing, because it's going to get messy again sooner or later. It's not going to be clean all the time, but it's about constantly cleaning up and constantly moving through the mind and cleaning things. So that's why I'm going to do this video blog. It's just to keep me a little bit more on track, or to have an avenue where I can talk about all these things. Just want to express my thoughts and my feelings, hear it out loud, hear what's going on, and maybe be able to direct it a little bit easier for me, so that I know which path, I'm taking at the moment. I've had a lot of synchronicities coming into my life right now in regards to my acting work. I'm in Tokyo, looking for acting work, or looking for avenues to perform, to put myself onto a stage, onto a platform, and to speak my mind, to speak my voice, or use my tool to get out there. I just like performing. Performance is a great avenue for me. So I'm in Tokyo right now, looking for something in that era. I've started modeling as well. At the start, I had my judgments about modeling, but once I got in front of that camera, tried it out. It's another art form. It's all just different types of art, and how you look at it is just completely subjective. So once again, I just want to clarify my mind and see where I'm heading at the moment. On my path of my own way of enlightenment, I guess. I want to be enlightened. I've had this thought for the last 8 years or so, that I've been seeking for the clarity and equanimity of mind, or maybe more so the balance, or finding the middle ground. Thinking, people say you're very thinking philosophically. I'm not really thinking philosophically. I'm just observing a lot of things that's happening inside of my nature, inside of me, outside, left, right, whatever it is. I'm just observing a lot of things. I try and take it in, and my happening right now is that I don't want to think about it too much, because, I overthink and I get stuck inside of my brain, and circles around, karma goes around, and all these things, and the chains and the cogs will always loop and loop and loop. And for me is to be able to in this moment, same thing that's happening, is to put it out there so that I can voice a lot of my own opinions, so I can get stuff out of me. And it's always going to be in there. It's always going to be something that's going to be churning inside the cogs, but it's good to have something that is, put out to the world. I want to put a lot of things out to the world. I feel very blessed in my life. I feel very appreciative of the things that I've been given, and I can't believe I can see it happening, but love and all this compassion has been supporting me throughout my existence so far, and I just feel not inclined, but inclined, and it's that ultimate paradox. But this will to want to give again is always there. I don't know what to give. I don't know how to give yet. I do my best to give in each moment that I am with other people, give my attention and my undivided attention. And to do so, it's imperative for me to keep a healthy lifestyle, keep a healthy diet, keep a healthy mentality, and work-wise. Am I working in good environments? Am I working with good people? Am I surrounded by loving people? Is this a path that I want to continue? Questions that inevitably I'm asking, man. It's not that I'm consciously asking these questions. It just happens now, It's just happening ever since my spiritual awakening 7 years ago in 2011. Maybe 6 years ago in 2011, I had my spiritual awakening, and I have people that have experienced this, they know what I'm talking about. People that haven't experienced this, you may recognize one day, or you may have had moments of this where you've just had a very opening experience inside of you, and you've just wondered, oh, what was that clarity? I saw so clearly for a moment and maybe didn't question it too far, but I felt it very openly and very vividly in 2011, about April 2011, and ever since then I've been on a journey to continue my progress towards enlightenment. Acting has taught me many things about introspection, about the self, and question why our motivations and what we do and why we do the things that we do. And I feel that was a catalyst to open up my own cognitive thinking on the inside. But yeah, since then, acting, music, people, and everything else in life has been coming along. But I've been, every single moment I do that, I do what I do, and I keep myself present, I keep myself aware, I keep myself attentive. What is it that we can keep ourselves attentive on? What is the moment? Where is the moment? How do you bring yourself back to the moment? What is it? Are there meditational practices that you can do to keep yourself in the moment? Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But I say there is. Sorry. Sometimes I just say things. And I'm happy to make mistakes. I want to make mistakes. Doesn't mean I should overstep the boundary, just completely let go. But what's the fear? What's the fear of completely letting go and saying something irrational outside of the train of thinking? What's wrong with that? What if I don't make sense? What if it's just all a bunch of mumbo jumbo? At least it feels good on the inside. That's kind of okay. It all makes sense in the grand scheme of things. So, as I said, I've been going along this path for quite some time now, and I've been shown so many things, and I'm interested in so many fields right now that's why it's kind of difficult to where I have to apply my attention, because I am interested in so many different fields about history, occult history, geometry, sacred geometry, time. Time has been coming into my life a bit more, about calendrical times, how different cultures cultivate time, and I say this and my heart is saying, okay, well, we haven't really studied that much about that. I have an interest in it. I've been looking into the Mayan calendar for a little while, but not even in that too much depth. And I just want to continue to pursue. I want to continue to pursue because it feels important for me to do that, to continue my, the pursuit of knowledge, the pursuit of understanding of all these things that I'm so interested about. What is it that interests me? Why is it that it interests me? Geometry, I see it everywhere. I see the patterns and shapes, obviously applying in the very simple spectrum as well within our day-to-day physical realities, and on the energetic realms as well. If you can see, because I've had so many psychedelic experiences as well, and I've seen different, you can call it different worlds, and people, there's this big talk about, is it a real world? Is it, is it just a made-up world? Is it inside of your mind? Maybe it is inside of my mind, but the world that I saw has shown me a different dimension of how things operate within, geometrical structures, and how we affect the structure, how, you can work with it, how you can work with it energetically to move it. As an actor, I come back to my fundamental basis that as an actor, it has taught me how to control that better, I guess, or how to work with people, how to work with energies. That in the end, it's not the words that I say, it's all about the resonance that I am putting out there. And am I resonating or not? Am I resonating with this person's vibration? And if not, what's wrong? What's the key? What's not hitting the point? What am I not? Is it in me? Is it in them? Okay, if it's in them, sweet. But I feel that there's an underlying principle. If we go into the concept of God and all that, I feel that there's an underlying principle. They call it the unified field theory that they're trying to look into physics at the moment. They're trying to find that it's not a single equation, but if it's an understanding of the world that connects everything, that connects the dots to all things. And I feel sacred geometry, and many people like Nassim Haramein and more people are studying, things related to light, quantas, and how light operates and how space operates. What is the structure of space? And just underlying principles that connect all of us. And if you want to go into talk about God and say there's God, there's there's an entity that is all things, and I feel that if God is real, God is omnipresent, God is all things, God is absolutely everything. So no single entity is God itself, but we are a part of God. I say God many times, and it resonates with me to call it God. You can call it whatever you like. Native Americans called it Great Spirit. Japanese, it's Kami. Space, Hermetists call it the All. There's so many different names for it. I'm sure there's more. But if it's the underlier, if it is the thing that is, if this whole spectrum is not just a course of random events, of just mere causality and chance that it happened to be so, that it is more that has been from a very, very long time, before time even was within the mind of thought, that this existed, that creation existed, that the isness of the now and the happening was real. If that is so, then is it not possible for me to connect as an individual, as a part of that all-permeating existence in the soul or the bottom depths of me, that I have the potential to connect with someone on that level? And I've found more and more so that it is possible for me to do so when I'm not connecting with someone. It's some sort of, not a prejudice, but it's a judgment or some sort of mental block that stops me from understanding this person. Or maybe this person feels it, maybe this person doesn't. But I know when I resonate with someone and I know when I don't. And it has to do with mental activity, it's just chemistry that, you can say, I don't really mold with this person, I don't really mold with that person. And yes, naturally, I feel there is that instinctive nature to mold and not to mold. I met a beautiful Dutch a girl from Belgium recently, and we just, clicked and molded. I just wanted to be with her, just wanted to hold her and hug her, and I felt that innate energy, and she's really, really cute girl, really fun, and we're doing this. She's still in Japan, in Kyoto right now, talking through the internet. I don't really like it that much. I kind of want to live my life. It's good to know that we still chat there, but I don't know how I feel about it. If I don't get to see her again, I would like to see her. I'm almost at that point where I'd go fly somewhere to go see her, But, sometimes you mix and match with people straight away and sometimes you don't. And when I don't mix and match with someone, I wonder why. I just wonder why. Why do I not connect with this person, Like, if I am innately connected, why do I feel that I'm not connected with this person? What is the block? Why don't I understand this person, Like, what's the difference in me and him, or in her or it, If I can connect with a bottle, as an actor and as an imaginative person, I can, portray character to this bottle. Mr. Bottle, how are you people say I'm all jiggly on the inside? Ew, dear me. So, Mr. Bottle, what you been up to today? You know what? I've just been standing still. Ah! Do you know what? And that's a very small skit. That's just being hilariously stupid. It's not stupid. But it's adding character to inanimate objects, and you can, puppets and all of these have been doing this for a very long time, and come on, Mr. Bottle. Come on, Mr. Bottle. Oh, what you talking about, young Roger? But if my mind can then connect with this object, with my imagination, and I can give it character and soul, it doesn't even have to be given those sort of characteristics. But if I can understand, or if I can feel something with it, I can feel that it too has some sort of resonance. And if I can connect with a bloody bottle, then what stops me from connecting with a human being? You know what I mean? What stops me from connecting with another individual that's alive and pulsating, and maybe they've just got a lot of blocks, they've got a lot of mental, the thing with the bottle is that it doesn't have mental blocks. The bottle is just the bottle. It doesn't have definitions. It doesn't have subjective opinions about anything. It is purely what it is. A human being, on the other fact, does have many subjective opinions, and it has many ideas about what it is and how it portrays the world and what is right and who it is and what's wrong and all this sort of stuff. So, and I've just noticed more and more the deeper we go into it, mind is everything, man. Mind is all. All is mind and all is mental in one of the Hermetic philosophies. And I feel it to be the truth, and I feel that mind is pretty much all permeating. And if it is all mind, then it's merely how I mold my mind, how I become the master of my mind, isn't it? And how I utilize my mind to create things and not create things. So I'm going to sum this up right now, but this is kind of on short of how I have been going about my life for the last 7 years or so. I've been continuing on this spectrum of, the mastery of self and understanding the self and seeing how the effects of self go further out and what are the boundaries of self, what is self, wondering what all these things are. And, if I am not purely me in individual sense, if I am more than what I perceive myself to be, and if I am connected innately to the fabric of all things, and that means in the fabric of all things and I are related, intertwined, and, in a genetic and molecular structure, and if that is molecular structure, then it is so innate. So in saying that me and my person, then that spreads and expands to say that me and my person would be to all things. So definition of self starts to dissolve and we become a bit more of a collective, but then there is still the individual sense of self and my own center and where I stand. If I lose that, then I get lost in the wave. I just become just another particle and I lose who I am and what I am. but not to hold too tightly to that, but to be firmly understanding of where my center is. So that's kind of where it is right now. Once again, I'll leave it all to it. I'm just going to slowly do this day to day if I can, spend 15 minutes just talking to camera and express my thoughts, and hopefully it inspires myself, me and my person to persevere and understand a little bit more about life. So thank you for the opportunity, and see you next time.